Hello everybody, and I'm going to talk about Fenbendazole. And I've been using Fenbendazole for, I think it's close to a year and a half, and I've been using it for guppy tanks to treat internal parasites, and it is by far, not even close, the best treatment for parasites that I've found in my guppies. But I gotta tell you, it's not without risk, and the guppies are unfazed, but it also, I've never had to use it for my shrimp tanks, but you can also use it for shrimp tanks to get rid of planaria and Drew blank. It is for planaria and hydra. Couldn't think of hydra, duh, because I don't have it. But some people who do have those hydra and planaria in their shrimp tanks, it is a never-ending, non-stop battle, and that is where you can use Fenbendazole. Now, I gotta tell you, I wouldn't want to use it regularly in a shrimp tank, but just for one treatment. I usually lose just a few shrimp here and there, and they don't want to breed for a while after I do a Fenbendazole treatment. So, and it will kill certain types of snails, mystery snails, and any snail related to apple snails. I do believe narite snails. As far as your regular pest snails like ram's horns and Malaysian trumpet snails, I don't see much of an effect. Like, that tank might have a little less snails in it after it, but it's not devastating to the snail population. So, and the good thing is the dosing for planaria, hydra in your shrimp tanks, and for guppy internal parasites, the exact same course of treatment. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'll show you how I do it. Now, one course is going to take 1 week, and here is the dosage and the rate of dosage. First of all, it is 0.1 grams per 10 gallons of water. So if you have a 20-gallon tank, you're going to be dosing 0.2 grams. Now, like I said, at first it was a struggle to figure out how to do this. Lots of people had trouble getting it to dissolve. Some people say you can't just put it in the water, put it in your food. I've tried the foods, it don't do nothing. The foods don't help me at all when it comes to guppy internal parasites. And so it's a 7-day plan. So I do all my water changes on Fridays, and so when I'm getting ready to go through and dose all the tanks, or the guppy tanks, those are the only tanks that I dose with Fenbendazole anymore, is I dose on Friday, I do my water change on Friday, dose right after water changes, and then give it a whole day, dose again on Sunday, and then give it another day, dose again on Tuesday, and then let it run its course. Just let it sit there till Friday, and then Friday is big water change day. And that's how I do it with my guppy parasites. That's how people do it with their shrimp tanks for planaria and hydra. So let's get down. I'll show you some of the tricks I've learned along the way. Getting it to dissolve can be tricky. I think I figured that part out pretty good. And remember, it's not without risks. I have some of my bristlenose pluckos don't like it. Now, the first few times I dose a tank with it, there might be a plucko or two that doesn't do good with it, but then that tank will always be fine afterwards. I've never had multiple problems after other times. And then when I first started using it, I was a little careless. It's like, oh, that's close enough. No, these dosings are precise. You put too much in there, you're going to have a bad time. So make sure you get those doses right. And to do that, you need a milligram scale. This is my handy dandy milligram scale. I got it on Amazon. I couldn't tell you. I think they're not super cheap, but they're not that bad. This is my kit. So, this is what we got here. This is my little scoop. And we need the Fenbendazole. This is what I get. Panicure C, sold as a dog dewormer. It comes in, I think this is like four packs or three or four 4-gram packs, I do believe. But this is the dosing, like I said, same dosing, same regiment, same everything. Whether it's guppies, treating internal parasites, shrimp tanks, treating planaria or hydra, and it works. It works really good, but you do have to be careful with it, like I was saying. So this is the new tricks I have found here. I got these little shampoo bottles, like little travel shampoo bottles on Amazon, and I marked them. So I have my guppy tanks. This is, I'm getting ready to do a round. This is I have 4 20-gallon tanks that are getting it. My 29-gallon, I'm gonna put down 30. The 40-gallon breeder gets it, and this one where the writing has rubbed off or wore off is for the guppy pond. So I'll show you how I do a tank. I will say that when I open these packages up, I put them in the freezer, and when I store them in the freezer, and I don't seem to have any problems with it going bad. So we have the container here for the 40-gallon tank. First we're going to turn this little milligram scale on. Put it on there. Hit the tare button to zero it out. And so this is for a 40-gallon tank, and it's 0.1 grams for every 10 gallons. So in a 40-gallon tank, we're putting 0.4 grams of this in here. I got my little scooper. Each scoop is usually just short, 0.2. And you definitely don't want to go too much. You will definitely have a bad time if you put too much in there. And so we take it nice and slow to make sure we get just the right amount. And sometimes I get real close the first time, and other times it takes a little bit. Alright, that is pretty dang close. So this is the next part I figured out that seems to be pretty key, and that is getting it to dissolve. And how do we get this to dissolve? Because if you just put it in the tank, it's just going to be suspended powder floating around, and you want it to dissolve in the water column so it has the full effect of the medication. So I'm going to show you what I do for that. Okay, we're at the sink and we are waiting for the water. The key is to get this water as hot as you can get it. So as hot as my tap water goes. Waiting for it to get super hot. Ow! Alright, so hot it's burning me. And this will get it to dissolve. I got this little bottle. Fill about 3/4 the way full of water. Put the lid on real good. And shake it up real good. Make sure you get that lid on, because you don't want that splashing out. Alrighty, that ought to be good. It's pretty consistently dissolved. Alright, this is the 40-gallon tank we are dosing right now. And we're just gonna go bloop, 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 and then we're gonna make sure we rinse all the residuals out and get all that good medication in the tank, and then rinse off the cap. And there you have it. We have dosed a 40-gallon tank with Fenbendazole. Okay, so in closing, you guys, we all don't want to have to use it, but sometimes we have problems where we got to. And I tell you, I almost completely gave up guppies. I was ready to give up the hobby. Not completely, not the shrimp and everything, but the guppies especially, because battling these internal parasites, I tried levamisole, I tried Prozi Pro, I've tried them all, and I dumped tons and tons of money into all these tanks trying to get rid of these internal parasites, and Fenbendazole, it does it. It does it. It gets rid of it. Now it has its risks, and again, let me go over the dosing. It's 0.1 gram for every 10 gallons. So a 100-gallon tank is going to get 1 gram. A 10-gallon tank is going to get 0.1 gram. A 30-gallon tank is going to get 0.3 gram. It's pretty easy. It's pretty hard to mess up the dosing. And it's going to be do a water change, dose, skip a day, dose, skip another day, dose, and on that 7th day, when it's a week since you started, do another big water change. I prefer to do at least 50%. In the guppy tank, sometimes I'll do like 90%. That's how I like to do it. And like, again, it's not just with guppies. This pertains big time to shrimp tanks, planaria and hydra. Luckily, I've never had to do it. I think it's because my water's pretty hard and they're just, I don't know why. Most people are, how do you do that? How do you feed so much? How do you have all this stuff? Well, I always have 10,000 snails in my tanks. So that's probably why I don't have planaria and hydra in my tanks, because my water's so hard, the snails just outcompete everything like that. So I'm lucky, but I am not lucky when it comes to guppies. So, and it works for that too. So guppies and shrimp, if you keep them, you're probably going to need to use Fenbendazole one day or another. And I've got like a 1.5 years experience with it now, I think, and I've learned what works and what don't, and hopefully I shared enough to help some people out. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.